You remember that moment in Good Dinosaur? Arlo's father teaches him an important life lesson under the stars. I think we've already seen that before in another classic Disney movie. See what I mean? This movie's The Lion King with dinosaurs. The Good Dinosaur, directed by Peter Sohn, and is the 16th Pixar movie overall. Finally, we come to the last of my Pixar reviews for the time being until Coco. So The Good Dinosaur is the second Pixar movie to be released in 2015 after Inside Out. First time Pixar released 2 movies in 1 year, but did it work out? Let's find out. So The Good Dinosaur tells the very simplistic and predictable story of in an alternative universe where dinosaurs never became extinct, and a herbivorous dinosaur, Arlo, who is literally afraid of everything, gets separated from his family in one incident when he loses his father to a flash flood, and comes across on his journey home a dog-like human which he names Spots, and the two bond like a boy and his dog on their journey to get Arlo home. Yes, there's that little story. Now, The Good Dinosaur has never been favoured by critics as one of Pixar's best movies. I mean, at least it got a decent score of 77% on Rotten Tomatoes, but much lower than most of their other classics. And to add insult to injury, this is the lowest grossing Pixar movie. It only made $332 million worldwide, which goes to show the public's lack of interest in it, and it's not very hard to see why, re-watching this movie. And oddly enough, my buddy Angel I Love Movies, this is his least favourite Pixar movie. He hates it even more than Cars 2. So, Angel, if you want me to rant about this movie, don't worry, I will oblige you. And while I don't hate The Good Dinosaur, don't get me wrong, I still think Cars 2 is definitely a worse movie. The Good Dinosaur, it's easily one of Pixar's weakest movies, in my opinion. It's just meh. I mean, it was a huge misstep and complete mistake to release this movie the exact same year as the Pixar juggernaut that was Inside Out. And when you compare The Good Dinosaur to Inside Out, it doesn't hold a candle. Considering this is a Pixar movie, you'd think they'd just try a little harder. I know this. Yes, this movie had production difficulties, which made it doomed from the beginning. But why release it the same year as Inside Out? Obviously, Inside Out's going to get all the attention. What did you think was going to happen, Pixar? I know there were some production difficulties and delays with this movie. It was originally going to be released in 2014, but there ended up being no Pixar movie that year, and they pushed it back to 2015. That was a bad move. They shouldn't have rushed this movie so much. They should have just worked on it for a couple more years and maybe release it, when it was ready, and they'd come up with a much better script. Because I was really dissatisfied with the final product that we got. I won't ramble. You don't need a big paragraph to explain why this movie is inferior to Inside Out in absolutely every way. But I said I didn't hate it. I do have some positives. They're only minimalistic positives, but they're still noteworthy. At least the animation is the best thing about the movie by far. The visuals are beyond stunning. That's a predictable thing to say in a Pixar review, I know, because all of their movies look stunning, but the Good Dinosaur just beautifully brings to life the prehistoric world of the dinosaurs. And though there is one nitpick I have with the animation, which I will address in my negatives, and at least the friendship between Arlo and Spots did give the movie some hearts, and Spots is a very lovable character, and a interesting take on a human, how a human acts more like a dog, since dinosaurs survived the meteor and have become the highly intelligent speaking and thinking dominant species. And at least Arlo's family also give the movie some heart. So I did like his mother and his sister Livy and his brother Buck. At least they gave him the motivation to get home, no matter what. But that's everything good about the movie. Yeah, it wasn't much, was it? I have a lot of negatives, and it's a shame I didn't love this movie more, because I love dinosaurs. I love everything about them. I've seen every dinosaur movie as a kid, but this movie doesn't do anything new with them. The most glaring problem with this movie is its boring, predictable and lackluster story. This movie is completely style over substance. The visuals are strong, but the story is so damn weak. I mean, this movie has no originality at all. It recycles the plot of The Lion King. Don't believe me? Well, remember I said in the intro, the moment when Arlo's father takes Arlo out to the Starry Night to teach Arlo to get over his phobias. Direct rip-off and imitation of the Under the Stars scene from Lion King. You could have replaced the dialogue in that scene with, "Look at the stars, the great kings of the past, look down on us from those stars," and you'd have the same scene. And as if that wasn't ripping off Lion King enough, they kill off the father in a stupid way. How did Arlo's father die in the flash flood, and yet later on in the movie Arlo survives the same flash flood when he goes to save Spots, just because the script says he's the main character and automatically invincible? That is lazy writing from Pixar right there. This movie does not emotionally resonate with you the way Inside Out did. Inside Out puts a great story before its visuals. We were sobbing our eyes out and crying for Riley to get happy again, and for joy and sadness to make it back to the controls. But you don't give a shit about anything that's happening in The Good Dinosaur. Let's sum up the character of Arlo. He is one of the worst, most boring Pixar protagonists to date. Why would he be afraid and have phobias of literally everything? That makes literally no sense. They could have come up with something for him to overcome that would be more relatable. And I did say I liked his family, but I didn't care about his father, because his father was just a lame rip-off of Mufasa. And I did like his mum, sister and brother, but they barely get any screen time, and they're in the beginning and don't show up again until the very end. They have such generic designs, and while the landscapes look fantastic, the dinosaurs not so much. You see, this is a accurate representation of a dinosaur, and this is Arlo. You see my points? The dinosaurs in this movie look so fake. They look like rubber plastic toys more than actual dinosaurs. It's also a severely boring movie. Little to nothing happens in the second act of the movie. It gets it executes the adventure aspect incredibly poorly. You feel no stakes for Arlo or Spots as they're just walking along in the wilderness doing a fuck all, and they meet these three T-Rexes who are not memorable at all. I don't even remember their names, and the villains are, these two pterodactyls are meh villains. It's a painfully predictable movie because the story's just too familiar. I was passing the time and just daydreaming, wishing I was watching Inside Out again. Yeah, I think you'll be on your phone throughout literally 90% of this film because that's how little happens in it. At this point, you probably assume I hate The Good Dinosaur, but I really don't. I just think it's meh. Characters and story were totally forgettable for a Pixar movie, and I really think this and wish this movie should have been about set in real-life dinosaur times, and had been about Arlo and his family just travelling through the dinosaur wilderness and facing untold perils with predatory dinosaurs, and actually have the movie have a dark tone and not be too childish. That would actually be thrilling. That would be an epic dinosaur movie, and kids would watch it, but I think they'd be bored as their minds by Good Dinosaur. I predicted what would happen from the moment the Under the Stars rip-off scene came along. I predicted Arlo's father would die, that him and Spot would survive the flash floods remarkably, and Arlo would return home. Yeah, this movie, it's a lesser Pixar movie for sure. It's a rip-off of not only The Lion King, The Land Before Time, and Disney's Dinosaur all in one go. I give The Good Dinosaur 2 stars out of 5. What a disappointment. It's easily one of my least favourites from Pixar. Well guys, we've finally done it. We finally reviewed all 18 Pixar movies on my channel so far, until Coco, of course, and I look forward to many more of their wonderful classics in the future, though honestly I'm in no rush to see Coco. It just looks like a unimaginative rip-off of The Book of Life, so I highly doubt it will be one of their best movies, but only time will tell. Well, I love you guys, thank you for watching, hope you guys enjoyed this review, and what do you think of The Good Dinosaur? Please comment and let me know. Please like this video and subscribe. Please follow me on Twitter and on Google Plus and on Instagram, and I'll see you next time when I rank all of the Pixar movies. I'll see you then. Bye guys.